The Argos have brought home the Grey Cup once again, and a rally is being held this afternoon to celebrate the CFL champions. Good afternoon. We're live at Maple Leaf Square and Scotiabank Arena for the celebration.
The Argos returned home to Toronto with the cup last night, and the championship party has started. CTV's Mike Walker and Jessica Smith are each covering the rally and will be joining us throughout this hour. First, let's go to Mike Walker, who's been talking to fans today. Mike, what's the vibe?
Well, as you can see, hundreds of fans have gathered here at Maple Leaf Square, all dressed in double blue. This is the second time in 3 years they are celebrating a Grey Cup championship. Hundreds are gathered here. They've come from across the GTA and beyond to celebrate the Argos winning their 19th Grey Cup, leading the CFL with most Grey Cup wins. They are excited by Sunday's win. We are just waiting for the players to be introduced. Here's more from excited fans we just spoke with a short time ago.
It's unbelievable, right? We've been on the high since Sunday night watching the game. What a ride they took us on. Losing Chad hurt us, but we had faith that we were going to be able to pull it off, and we're here.
I was so sad when Chad got hurt, but Nick Arbuckle led us.
It's amazing because I've been a lifelong Argos fan. My dad used to watch football all the time, so I've never had the opportunity to come.
19 championships is amazing, considering the other teams in the city, they don't quite stack up that way.
So happy to be part of it. I'm a season ticket holder. I've been there through the last few years and stuff, and it's been just, it's wonderful to be here.
By the way, you know this is the in-game host.
So just a few moments from now, the players will be introduced and the Grey Cup will be brought out to celebrate with the Argos fan base here. And over the next little bit, we'll be hearing from officials from MLC, of course, the players themselves, and we'll have that for you a little later on in the newscast. For now, I'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Mike. And this has got to be a lot of fun for Jessica Smith as well. Jess, you used to work with the Argos. You must really be enjoying this.
I am having the time of my life, Nathan. I'm wearing my Grey Cup ring from 2012, and I'm here with a very special person. This is Jason Clary. Tell me, I know, but tell the fans how long you've been with the organization.
Next year would be my 40th year.
What does this mean to you? I mean, you're not new to the Argos winning, making history, but what does this mean to you?
It's unreal. I mean, I haven't lost a Grey Cup with the team. So when people ask me what's the after party like when you lose, I've never lost. But it's an amazing time. I grew up with them, 14 years old when I started. So it's a family, and that's why we win. We're family.
It really is, and I feel like the fan base are loyal, and it's growing all the time. For someone who has never been to an Argos game, and I find that hard to believe for anybody here, but what would you say to them for next season to get them to come out?
You gotta come out. This is the most community-friendly team you'll ever meet, and they're pounding the pavement. They're out there. We're out in schools. I mean, come out and show them your support. And they play for the heart. They play from the heart.
As do you, Jason. Congratulations on another Grey Cup. I think we're going to go to the weather now, because the weather's a big part of football, especially in Canada. It wasn't an issue, obviously, in Vancouver, because they're inside. But here, for the celebration, it is nothing but good. It's a little bit cloudy out there, but the rain is holding off, which is great. Temperature-wise, it is comfortable. We're sitting kind of in that mid-single-digit range, and it only gets better as we head throughout the afternoon. As we make our way in towards that midpoint of our day, it gets a little warmer out there. That chance of rain, though, it holds off for the rally, which is good news. Coming up, I'll have a full look at your long-range forecast. We'll have more Argos fans, but for now, I will send things back inside.
All right, we'll check in later at that championship rally. Thank you, Jess. Well, there's still no end in sight to a strike at Canada Post. A special mediator has not been able to broker a deal between Canada Post and the union. Both sides remain far apart at the bargaining table. Only benefit checks are being processed during the work stoppage, now in its fourth day. The union is fighting for fair wages and safer working conditions.
Meanwhile, 3,500 CN Railway workers across the country started holding strike votes. They include technicians, mechanics, and clerical workers. The union says it wants the company to address issues such as job security, compensation, and working conditions. It insists a strike vote will help clarify where members stand in terms of the ongoing negotiations.
Ontario is contributing $3.5 million to support the creation of new jobs at Roche Canada in Mississauga.
The life sciences sector is such an important part of our economy, an important part of keeping people in Ontario healthy. Since 2018, this sector has attracted more than $5 billion in new investments with more than 5,000 jobs.
The biotech company says it will be adding up to 250 new jobs in the province. Most will be in areas such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analysis. Roche Canada says the positions will establish it as one of the top 5 information technology hubs supporting its global business.
This is the 1,000th day of Russia's war on Ukraine, and at the G20 summit today, Canada's Prime Minister said the final leader's statement fell short on the war.
No, it's not strong enough for me. We have been unequivocal that Russia is responsible for not just the illegal invasion of Ukraine, but the knock-on consequences on food insecurity around the world, on rising energy prices, on disrupted supply chains, on uncertainty and insecurity for people around the world that are worried now that the rules-based order no longer holds.
On the ground, Ukraine used American missiles to strike Russian territory today. It takes advantage of newly granted permission from the Biden administration. Moscow says its forces shot down 5 of 6 of the missiles fired at a military facility in the Bryansk region.
Canada has foiled a shocking plot by Iran to murder Erwin Cotler.
Cotler has been a champion for human rights and campaigned to have the Iranian National Guard. CTV senior political correspondent Mike Lecouteur has more.
A senior member of Erwin Cotler's office confirms to CTV News that the former justice minister had been informed of the foiled plot. It comes a year after he was given 24-hour security protection.
Iran, the state sponsor of all these terrorist proxies.
Erwin Cotler has been an outspoken critic of the Iranian regime for years. The alleged assassination plot has stunned those who know him.
It is a shocking and horrible thing. And it's totally unacceptable what the Islamic Republic of Iran is doing and what others are doing who are bringing terror into our communities.
As first reported by the Globe and Mail, the RCMP told Cotler on October 26th he faced a serious threat of assassination within 48 hours.
It must be very difficult for him in particular and his family and his friends to hear that. This being said, Minister LeBlanc is fully aware of these allegations.
Despite that, Public Safety Minister Dominic LeBlanc's office says he can't comment on specific RCMP operations.
We have to realize that a lot of Canadians are at threat of this.
Former CSIS intelligence officer Dan Stanton says this should be a wake-up call that people in this country are targets, adding plots by foreign governments carried out by proxies are relatively new, but are widespread. Recent U.S. indictments reveal President-elect Donald Trump was also the target of a murder-for-hire plot by Iran.
They're determined to basically neutralize in a way the high status people who are speaking out, various communities. It's transnational repression, essentially.
Liberal MP Anthony Housefather says Canada has taken a leadership role in putting pressure on the Iranian regime, but he'd like to see our international allies rally together and impose severe sanctions on Iran. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Now to a campaign in Peel to curb nuisance 911 calls.
Those calls waste precious time, and there are far too many. CTV's Beth McTennell joins us live with what they're doing in Peel to curb these calls. Beth.
Michelle, 911 misuse calls has been a big issue here in Peel region, and now officials say they're making progress, reporting the average wait time for a 911 call is 14 seconds. Brampton Mayor Patrick Brown and the police chief say the system wasn't where it needed to be. They were at headquarters announcing that 911 call answer times have decreased by 78%. How did they get there? They say 1 year ago there was a public awareness campaign on the issue of 911 misuse calls that made a difference. Brown says there was a deficit of 54 staff, which has now been filled, and the force is using new technology with automated callback features and a new screen which helps manage excess calls, whereas before manual callbacks were causing delays.
Investment in new technology, the investment in new staffing has really returned peace of mind to our residents to know that if they call 911, there's going to be someone on the other end of the phone ready to help.
Waiting on hold on 911 by any means is not acceptable. But to see us down from over 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes average time to now to 14 seconds is quite a remarkable change.
The chief says that public awareness campaign really made a difference with those misuse calls. They said they were getting calls from people calling about their cold Tim Hortons coffee and a cat stuck in a window. So this is some of the progress that they've made here at Peel Police. Reporting live, I'm Beth McDonnell. Back to you.
Well, that is good to hear. Thank you, Beth. Next to shocking footage that shows the moment a stolen car slammed into a TTC bus, spinning it around with passengers on board.
Yesterday's crash injured 9 people, and 2 of the people involved were out on bail. CTV's Janice Golding has the details.
It's 1:53 a.m. Surveillance video shows a black SUV racing through the intersection at Bathurst and Wilson. A moment later, a white BMW crashes into the driver's side of a TTC bus, sending the commuter vehicle spinning 180 degrees.
I was inside working when the collision happened. I just heard a really loud sound. It was like a bomb.
4 people in the BMW were hurt, including 2 that sustained life-threatening injuries. Meanwhile, 5 people aboard the TTC bus, including the driver and a female passenger who was ejected, sustained minor injuries.
Lots of steam, lots of smoke, and I could hear some passengers of the bus was moaning.
When the dust settled, a person could be seen at the side of the bus being attended to by passers-by. The white BMW stolen, says the Toronto Police Association.
Yeah, that's my understanding. It was a carjacking from Peel Region, and then they came into the city of Toronto.
2 of the people aboard alleged to be out on bail, one of them for violent robbery.
To have them out doing a carjacking and then coming into the city of Toronto driving dangerously and causing that accident, we again call on the federal government to tighten up bail for repeat violent offenders.
The incident for the second time in a week, prompting the Toronto Police Association to call for bail reform, while the head of the TTC union spoke out about the danger drivers and passengers are facing.
They feel at risk.
Just 5 weeks ago, another stolen car collided with a TTC bus, this time at Bathurst and Eglinton, and burst into flames.
We've had repeated incidents where transit vehicles have been struck by vehicles that have been involved in crime. Something needs to happen. People need to be held accountable, and people need to feel safe.
Marvin Alfred joining in the chorus calling for change.
It doesn't matter how careful you are. There's always bad people, like bad drivers and thieves.
That's really bad. A lot of people driving these days, they don't just care about people's lives, you know.
As area residents express their dismay that accidents this reckless keep happening in our community. Janice Golding, CTV News.
And word that 2 people in the stolen vehicle were out on bail has prompted the Solicitor General to call for action by the federal government.
The accident took place in my own constituency of York Centre, and I attended yesterday morning to see for myself. I also placed a call early yesterday morning to the Amalgamated Transit Union President Marvin Alfred to express my concern for the well-being of the bus driver. And that is of substantial concern to me, as well with the passengers who were involved and hurt on the bus yesterday.
The Solicitor General wants Ottawa to implement stronger border inspections. He says nearly every gun used illegally in Ontario originates in the U.S. The province also would like to see stepped-up protocols to combat auto theft.
2 people were taken to hospital after a 2-vehicle crash in Scarborough yesterday. This happened just before 5 p.m. at Progress Avenue and Shepherd Ave. A man in his 50s was taken to hospital with serious injuries, and another man was taken to hospital with minor injuries. Shepherd was closed for several hours for the cleanup. The cause of this crash is under investigation. And in Mississauga, police are searching for suspects who fled after crashing into a jewelry store. The vehicle smashed into the front of Arnick Jewelers in the area of Eglinton and Confederation Parkway around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. No injuries were reported, and there are no suspect descriptions available at this time. In Vancouver, the Duke of Sussex attended the launch of a school program related to the Invictus Games.
Seeing them learn about the Invictus Games has had a profound impact on me, because this is where Invictus starts to go even wider, outside of the Invictus community, into schools in Canada and hopefully around the world as well. And seeing this program today in action, you can really feel the energy, the enthusiasm and the learning happening in this room.
Harry met with students in celebration of an online program designed to bring the Invictus Games to schools everywhere. The former British Army captain created the competition for international wounded, injured, and sick service personnel in 2014. Next year's Games will be held in Vancouver and Whistler from February 8th to the 16th. And guess who's back from Vancouver? Oh, yes, our championship-winning Argos players. They've got the Grey Cup in hand. You are watching the celebration right now in Maple Leaf Square as they hoist the Grey Cup and celebrate with fans who have gathered. The party continues, and guess who's among the crowd? Our Jessica Smith. Jess.
Michelle, the energy in here is electric. I'm here with Tobias. What is that feeling? We just saw the Grey Cup come out. How do you feel?
Well, so Argos are one of the only teams I've cheered for that have actually won recently. So being able to come here, celebrate with the team's players, obviously more intimate than like a Raptors celebration, but that makes me love the CFL so much more. It's an underrated league that I wish more people would be a fan of. So if you're watching, watch the Argos next year. Come to BMO. It's a great sport, cheap tickets. Go team.
And it's a good time. I mean, it is pretty special to be able to see your team win twice in the past, 4 years? We were back here in 2022. The CFL trophy right now being hoisted on the stage. What has been your favorite part of the season? Obviously the Grey Cup, but what has been your favorite part of 2024 with the Argos?
So probably the kicker, Liram Hirelai, who we had, troubles with different QBs. He was very reliable all year, kicking like 50, 60-yard field goals, and even during the Grey Cup, getting hurt and still coming out, kicking a long field goal. So it's a part of the game, but being able to rely on the kicker, it's set stone, but it gave you peace of mind that if he's coming for a kick, it'll be good.
Shout out to all the kickers out there. We're going to listen in live to the rally. There is so much going on. The Grey Cup is on the stage right now, and it's only getting started. Speeches are starting soon, but we'll listen in live.
Yeah, and all them tweets and all them posts ain't got the type of time to be playing with you folk. I had a richer pride to these, that's the joke. I'm really down to die behind these verses in my notes.
We're debating. That looks like
That's Chad Kelly in the crutches, drinking from the cup. Yeah, I wonder what it's like for him. He must be proud to see his team win, but clearly the quarterback who was put in his place, Nick Arbuckle, he put on a show winning that MVP award, which is quite something, a great storyline.
Well, when you consider he is a lifetime backup quarterback who was just sort of thrust into this because of that ankle injury to Chad Kelly, and oh, look at that, drinking from the cup, that must be fantastic. But for him to get the job done and win the MVP of the actual Grey Cup, he exceeded expectations. It was a close game until the second half. And then the Argos with their defense and offense took over. Jess, it must be fun for you to be there to watch all this going down live. I wonder what's in that cup.
Nathan, I promise you it is not water, but it is absolutely wonderful. Liram Harilahu, the kicker, is on the stage right now, and the energy is electric. I see Pinball Clemens over there in the corner. He's getting ready to make a speech as well. We'll listen in live. We're going to listen to O Canada.
Callista Wilson and our version of O Canada.
So sorry.
So sorry. Let it through.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
you so much, Callista. Guys, we're going to have everyone move back here.
Lots of excitement down here at the Argos 2024 Grey Cup Championship Rally. They're getting ready to make some speeches. I've seen pinball make an appearance already, and the fans are on their feet. And the Grey Cup is being hoisted right now. If you've been a long-time Argos fan, if you're a first-time Argos fan, I promise you the energy is palpable. I'm seeing fans everywhere. We're going to throw to break. We'll have more coming up from the Argos Celebration Rally.
We are live this hour in Maple Leaf Square. You could call it Argos Alley because this is where our Grey Cup champions, the Toronto Argonauts, are celebrating with their fans, hoisting their record 19th Grey Cup. It's an exciting time in the city, and Mayor Olivia Chow is addressing the crowd. Our Jessica Smith is also among the crowd today, which it's got to be fun for Jessica because Jessica used to travel with the team, Nathan, and as a cheerleader, and you and Jess have been loyal fans this year, taking in the game. And what do you think? What do you think?
Oh, it's exciting, and I was saying, you know, they're not long-suffering fans. They won a Grey Cup 2 years ago, but they're very loyal fans. I also had the pleasure of working with the Argos years ago as an in-house announcer.
Yes.
And funny, that's where I met Jessica, who also worked as a cheerleader and also helped to promote the team. So she's just done so much, and myself and Jessica still go to those Argo games. We've been there this season, Jess, and who would have thought they were the underdog going in, right?
I mean, I always had faith in my team, Nathan, but it really is so special to see all the people here. I've got some special fans. I have Eric and Taya. They have the whole family here, but what does it mean to you to be here with your whole family?
It's a great way to celebrate with the city, a great accomplishment. I think it's important for the kids to see it.
I feel like it's one of those things where it is such a family-friendly environment. I mean, I started going to the Argos when I was a kid. I feel like for you guys, it must be so much fun. Is it fun today?
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to a million, how fun is it?
A lot of fun.
So for people who maybe haven't been to a game before and they're seeing this kind of love and this kind of community support, what do you think it speaks to when it comes to how important this team is to the city?
I think it's very important. Yeah, I think we go to 1 or 2 games a year, and it's always been great. They were both with me at the last celebration too, 2 years ago. So it's a nice tradition. Hopefully we keep winning.
I mean, 19 Grey Cups is no small feat, and I feel like in my bones, number 20 is coming up pretty soon. Thank you guys so much. Keep enjoying the celebration. Can I get a big go Argos?
Go Argos!
That's what I'm talking about. And the forecast is super agreeable. I mean, I didn't call in a favor, but I kind of had a feeling that we were looking at a pretty great forecast as we made our way throughout the day today, and that continues. Into this afternoon, it is going to be a little soggy, but it's not going to be a wash of a day. Coming up, I'll have a full look at your long-range forecast. We'll look at this afternoon, the rest of the week ahead, and of course, we'll have more from the 2024 Grey Cup Rally as the Argos celebrate their 19th Grey Cup win, and all the excitement happening on the stage.
And I have to tell you,
All right, let's go back to that stage and listen. That's Larry Tannenbaum speaking right now. Let's listen in.
throughout the season, this team showed grit, determination, and a great heart in a hard-fought Grey Cup game against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It's that same team we defeated to win the 2022 Grey Cup. Our Argos teamwork and culture is well established and has delivered 2 Grey Cups in just 3 seasons. Led by Coach Ryan Dinwiddie. Ryan? And Canadian Football League legend Michael Pinball Clemens. This is a guy who's won 8 Grey Cups. First as a player, then as an executive, and now twice as a general manager. Thank you, gentlemen, for your passion, for your dedication to this team and to the league, and for delivering another Grey Cup to the City of Toronto and our fans. We have a culture within the Argos that has its foundation built on family. This was so evident all season long. And heartfelt congratulations to every member of this team, players, coaches, and support staff alike, who believed in the goal and who believed that we would today be celebrating a Grey Cup victory. And to the families of our players, coaches, and staff who support and sacrifice for the good of our team, we thank you, families there. Thank you. Finally, on behalf of our entire organization, I would like to thank the Argos fans who showed an incredible commitment. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for supporting this team, this league, and many of you who made that trip to Vancouver this past weekend. And we celebrate the team's Grey Cup victory today. We also thank and celebrate you and all that you mean to this team. Thank you all very much. Congratulations again. Enjoy the moment. Go Argos.
Thank you, Mr. Tannenbaum.
That was MLSE Chairman Larry Tannenbaum. Exciting times here in the city as the Argos organization revels in the celebration with the crowd. And we're going to let this continue. We're going to continue our coverage. But our Jessica Smith is amid the crowd and enjoying what are decent conditions today as their festivities continue. Let's take a moment to look at the weather forecast for folks who are planning out their day. Jess, what's the potential for rain?
You know, Michelle, it is very exciting down here, and the weather is very agreeable. I'm here with some of the A team members. It's exciting for them too, because you guys put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it. And the forecast today is fantastic for everybody down here enjoying the celebration. And it really only gets nicer as we head throughout the day. Now, as we make our way in towards this afternoon, it is going to get a little rainy out there, but overall, it's not a bad day to spend some time outside to celebrate another Grey Cup championship. Now, temperature-wise, it's a little mild. We're sitting at 9 degrees here in the city, and it only gets a little bit warmer as we head in towards the afternoon. Now, our daytime high today, right around 11. We should be at 6, and we are going to see those showers roll in a little bit later on, but the rally will be done by then. Now, this evening, it is staying relatively mild out there. We'll drop to a low of 7. We should be at -1, and right around Southern Ontario, we hold on to a lot of that warmth. Watching the system make its way through, it will impact us here in Southern Ontario into that second half of the day, but it couldn't rain on the spirits of all the Argos fans that are down here having a fantastic time. Timing everything out as we make our way through the rest of our day. Again, we're keeping a close eye on those showers, but it's not a wash of a day by any means. And as we get in towards this evening, you can keep on celebrating the Grey Cup as you make your way throughout the day. Now, into your Wednesday, we begin a bit of an unsettled trend as we head throughout really the middle and the ends of the week. So keep your umbrellas handy if you do have outdoor plans. As we make our way in towards Wednesday night through Thursday, though, it gets a little soggy out there, so keep that in mind. It is going to be a little bit messy. Now, as we make our way in towards the next 7 days, temperature-wise, we're going to cool down just a little bit, but overall, it's not too bad. The double digits through to Wednesday, and then we watch for single digits as we head in towards the middle and end of the week. But the good news in, it really couldn't rain on anyone's parade. We're going to throw things back to the rally because it's only getting more exciting down here at Maple Leaf Square.
We'll have memories that will last a lifetime. And for this city, did they play 6 hours of football? Yeah, baby, they played 6 hours. I love these guys, the resilience, the passion they showed, and I tell you, they played for the greatest fans in the world. Argo fans are like no other, and I can tell you right now, 7 million watched the Eastern Final. 3.5 million watched the Grey Cup last week. There are Argo fans. There are Argo fans in this city that next year will come to BMO. I guarantee you, the energy in BMO is going to be like no other. We're committed. These guys need the support. Thank you for coming out today. We love you a lot. And again, congratulations to Mike Pinball Clemens. When you talk about family, you talk about culture, you talk about chemistry, you talk about Mike Pinball Clemens. Hey, an icon.
All right, we're watching live coverage of the Argonaut Championship rally, fresh off of that Grey Cup win on Sunday. Fantastic game, and great to see such a huge turnout. The mayor, of course, is there. Pinball Clemens is there, who's won 8 Grey Cups as a player, as a coach, as an executive, as a president. And it's just so much fun to be a part of this, to be able to watch it.
I'm noticing Pinball Clemens always has a smile on a good day, but it's extra big today. I mean, this has got to feel good. And nice to hear them talking about how this Grey Cup win might help fuel more fans next season. I mean, they've won quite a few Grey Cups in recent years, so there's a lot to be excited about in this city. Certainly. We're going to take a quick break. We'll continue our coverage of the party down at Maple Leaf Square, and we'll have some of the rest of the day's news, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly.
All right, the Grey Cup has come home. We're going to head back to the championship rally. Pinball Clemens, the team's general manager, is speaking on the microphone. Let's listen in.
Things like this, like what would you have done differently if you were going through the pandemic, right? That's one of those questions that if you were going through it again, what would you accomplish, right? Today we see the benefits of his commitment, and I'd like you to give him the biggest round of applause we've had today. Speak here, so I need to start moving a little quicker. They say adversity in life is guaranteed. It's not whether or not you have adversity, but how you deal with it that will determine your success. That was the story of this season, adversity. There was adversity everywhere, even up until the division final to go to the Grey Cup, right? Our starting quarterback was injured, and we see him today, present today. Would you give him a big round of applause? As we applaud him, right? We also now would like to pay tribute to the guy that he sat in the room with and worked with all year. And we had this guy, and he was a really great guy, and I don't know why we let him go the first time, but we got him back. And can you give a huge round of applause to the MVP of the 111th Grey Cup, Nick Arbuckle! It's been aptly noted, the heart of a champion is not just about what you've won or what you've done. It's an attitude. It's a way of life. It's how you live and what you stand for. It's the foundation for your whole life in existence. The heart of a champion is not just something you have, it's something you are. Guys, I want to thank you so much for the contribution that you've made, and this show has to go on, but I do want you to know that today we found that sweet spot. So with me one more time, I say sweet, you say spot. Sweet! Yeah!
Pinball Clemens. Every day, the
All right, that was Michael Pinball Clemens, the team's general manager. So much charisma. My
What a
goodness,
speaker.
isn't he incredible? And this is his 8th Grey Cup win. Can you believe that?
You know what? He's put so much into this team. You could tell blood, sweat, and tears and passion, and there's a lot to show for it. He's a big part, I think it's fair to say, of their success.
No question. I would say he's still the face of the team, even though he doesn't want to take the credit. He's always giving credit to everybody else, including Nick Arbuckle, the backup quarterback who won the MVP of the game. And, of course, all the players that came together, rallied together, all the fans that are there that have been so supportive of this team. And they get to enjoy today this amazing Grey Cup celebration.
And we're going to continue to keep an eye on the celebrations this hour, but we also want to get to some other news. We want to tell you that Halton Police, they're warning of a ticket scam for Taylor Swift's shows in Toronto, another big event in the city right now. More than 40 complainants of non-existent tickets valued at more than $70,000.
My heart is, it's really broken, not for the money, for the kids. And I just can't believe someone would do this to me.
You can see it, you can hear it. This mother is devastated. Halton Police say the complaints started rolling in last Thursday, the day of the first Toronto Eras Tour show in Toronto. Police say the tickets were fraudulent or never existed in the first place, and all the complaints involve the same seller. Now, no arrests have been made at this point. Investigators are asking anyone who may have fallen victim to a ticket scam to get in touch. Well, it looks like the call for financial help by the Santa Claus Parade in Toronto is now being answered.
There were concerns this Sunday's parade could be the last, but there are pledges of support expected to ensure the parade continues for years to come. The finishing touches are being made on more than 24 floats for this weekend's Santa Claus Parade. But after 120 years, uncertainty looms about the parade's future and financial challenges.
It weighs on us, for sure. We think about it.
The parade president and CEO has warned this year could be the last because of inflation, higher operational costs, and a drop in corporate sponsors. Now, the Prime Minister's pledging the federal government will help, writing in a post on X, "It's a great tradition, and we want to keep it going for years to come." How much funding Ottawa will provide remains to be seen. A spokesperson for the Heritage Minister writing, "Canadian Heritage and the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario are currently discussing next steps with the organization to provide support."
What the details are in terms of the amount and when funding is coming, we're still in conversation with them about.
This after organizers said they need $250,000 to cover a deficit. Organizers have launched a GoFundMe campaign, which so far has raised more than $72,000.
We're trying to ensure that we have a good foundation so that we can begin planning right away for 2025.
Roughly 5% of the parade's budget is typically covered by government grants. The province has also pledged support. And the city's announced is providing a $100,000 grant for this year's event through a special event stabilization initiative. It's not the first time the parade has been in jeopardy. Eaton started the event in 1905 but ended its association in 1982 because of funding challenges. The business community stepped in, and it has since been operated by a non-profit organization.
It's a tradition. I don't think we should just stop doing that, especially a lot of people enjoy it.
We seem to be losing more and more tradition as years go on, and I think it's important that we save and support these type of things.
For now, the fundraising campaign continues, and with all 3 levels of government at the table, there's a renewed sense of optimism.
Very enthused by the response, but we know that there's still work to do. We still want to raise more money so that we can ensure that the parade can not just survive but thrive.
Party's underway right now in downtown Toronto. The Argos, Grey Cup in hand, are celebrating with fans.
Yeah, this is their second Grey Cup in 3 years, and now there's talk of if they win another cup.
Can you imagine?
Perhaps a dynasty? It's possible. This team is good enough. Most of these players are coming back, and Chad Kelly, who is their starting quarterback, should be healthy by then. So we're going to continue to listen in, dip in, and we'll continue to cover this Argos championship rally downtown after the break. Stay with us.
A celebration is underway in Maple Leaf Square. The Argos just reveling in the fact that they have their 19th Grey Cup. We've been watching this hour. The team is on stage, really soaking in the moment.
Yeah, they've got more Grey Cup wins than any other team in league history. So it's something to be proud of. And there's talk that they could win more. All right, our Mike Walker is in that crowd, and we're going to check in with him. Hey, Mike.
Hi, guys. The atmosphere here at Maple Leaf Square is just electric. Hundreds of fans have gathered here to celebrate with the team with their 19th Grey Cup victory. And now fans are just hearing from the players. Now, I want to show you video from a few moments ago. Take a look at this. This was the rocking atmosphere when the players arrived in the square, hoisting the Grey Cup over their heads. That included injured quarterback Chad Kelly, who was on crutches. The fans just erupting in cheers. Also praising backup quarterback Nick Arbuckle, who led the Argos to victory in Sunday's Grey Cup against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Here's more from MLSE Chairman Larry Tannenbaum and some more fans.
Number 12. He had a hell of an injury, but there's no way he was going to miss today. None. Zero. Chad Kelly, ladies and gentlemen.
The 19th Grey Cup in franchise history. The most in professional football history. What an incredible accomplishment this is.
I never lost faith. I knew they still had a chance. I knew the quarterback was good. I didn't know how good, but it was perfect.
It's amazing. I always go to the Argos practices the last 2 years, and all the players are so completely nice to me, and I'm just so happy that they won, especially this year.
First, let me just thank God.
And here is Chad Kelly right now addressing fans. Again, the atmosphere very loud, very rocking. Fans ecstatic with the Toronto Argonauts winning their 19th Grey Cup. A few moments ago, the fans also heard from Mayor Olivia Chow, who declared today double blue day in Toronto to mark this big win. The players and ownership also talking about building on this success and drawing more fans to BMO for next season. Reporting live on Maple Leaf Square, I'm Mike Walker. I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Mike. Let's listen to Chad Kelly right now, hear what he has to say.
Next, I want to thank RD, man. Everybody give a round of applause for RD, man. RD. Look, I think within the first day of ever being in Argo, he cussed me out and I couldn't believe it. I was so sad and my heart was hurt. I didn't know what to do after that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because he knew what he had in me and I saw what he had in him, and we were so similar in so many ways, and we cared about the game in so many ways that our ego took over all the time. But we worked together so freaking well, man, and look what it got us, man. 2 championships in 3 years. Let's go! Let's go!
All right, that's Chad Kelly, the quarterback who was out with an ankle injury, speaking at the Grey Cup celebration, the championship rally, and it's so great to see how excited he is, even though he didn't even play.
I know. I mean, he won. He won a Grey Cup, even if he didn't play, and obviously he helped get the team there. It was a great season for them. We're going to take a quick break. More CTV News at noon when we return.
We're going to head back to the championship rally. That is the Grey Cup MVP quarterback Nick Arbuckle on the microphone. Let's listen in.
There's one thing I want to talk about, and I think it was kind of a theme for the entire team this year, and that was belief, the word belief. I think for me, it started with my wife and believing that there was still football left in me and I could still keep playing, and believing in my ability to keep sacrificing more than I think anybody will ever really know, for me to have the opportunity to keep working and keep trying and be able to still just be around for this opportunity when it came. And then believing from the ownership in this team and willing to give us everything we needed to make sure we could perform at our best, and believe from our
Nick Arbuckle. He was close to calling it a career before this season, and look at him now. Major part of why they have the Grey Cup there today. Jess, what a story.
You never stop believing that we get it done.
The forecast has really been in our favor for this rally. Temperature-wise, we're staying above seasonal as we head throughout the day today. A little rain this afternoon, but I feel like it's raining celebrations down here. We're going to keep on cheering. We're going to keep on having a ton of fun. I'll send things back inside as we wrap things up from the 2024 Argos Grey Cup Rally. We'll send things back in.
And remember, that is CTV News at noon. Of course, you can watch on our website or watch breaking news all day long at CP24. Let's listen in as we fade out and end this show. You can join us for CTV News at 5 and 6 later today.